Hey everyone, this is Corine La Font, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it here on Between the Lines, always with gratitude or thankfulness. Either one is good to go. And I have with me today, you may have seen her before if you're a follower, watcher, listener of my show. You would have seen this familiar face, Sue Wilhite. She's back again with a new topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all her episodes together in a playlist so that it's easy to find her. Yes, and listen to everything that she has to say. So we're talking about today ditching the bitchin. We cussing today, not much, but ditching the bitchin. And you know, people like to bitch about a lot of things, right?
Oh
Right.
my goodness.
Especially now. So we need to ditch that. Okay. We don't have time for that. We're not about that. We need to put a stop to it. Okay. Let me tell you a quick bit about Sue. Sue Wilhite helps powerful women who have unexpectedly stalled out accelerate their success with a 90-day block clearing coaching program. She became aware that successful women feel stalled. Yeah, it happens. And it's okay. And frustrated, and that's okay too, with their careers because of emotional residues that are holding them back. She has made it her life's mission to make sure successful people like yourselves get off their yeah, but welcome, Sue, to Between the Lines.
Oh, good to see you again, Corinne. Thank
It's
you.
good to see you, sweetie. It's good to see you. I wouldn't even ask what have you been up to because I know you're busy. Clearly,
Yes.
you're busy. It's a pandemic, Sue. You're supposed to slow down. Okay, what is wrong with you people? Huh?
Who
What is
made
wrong
that
with you
up?
people? I don't understand you entrepreneurs coming to tell me about you're busy, you have things doing, and of all the time you're very busy now. What? You're supposed to be stalled, okay? Sitting home, isolated, not talking to anybody. Huh?
Yes,
What's
but
going on?
Zoom. We have Zoom. We have StreamYard.
We
We
have
have
Zoom, right?
we have phones. We've got all kinds of things. Although, this is phones is going to go away as a gesture because this is phone, right? Holding it up like that.
I am so, let
That's
me tell
phone.
you, yesterday I was so drained and I'm feeling the impact of it because of this whole Zoom thing and being online. I am like, I need a break. I took some rest this morning. I just slowed down today. Hopefully, I just had a quick pace again, and I'm like, no, I need to stop. So after this episode, I am just going to shut down for a bit, and then I'm going to start back up again. And that's I think one of the recommendations I'm going to say to people. You know, the stalling is not a problem. You need to slow down. I'm a fast-paced person, and so I realize in my life now. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm just saying that
You have
I'm too
acquired enough
beautiful to be old,
experience.
right? So I'm just saying, I just realize in my life now, when I was much younger, I could have been like, going, 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 going. I want to be able to stop and smell the roses a bit more. I want to drink some water. I want to take in the air. I want to see the sun. I want to smile more at people. That's what I want to do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want to do
Absolutely.
now.
Yes. And take naps, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, take naps. I mean, like really long naps.
really long
Really,
naps.
really.
I did this just, I don't think it was I don't think it was last week, Tuesday, but the week before. I just said, you know what? I'm taking today off. And at noon, I went
Yes.
down for a nap and I slept until 4:30. I
Wow.
just gave myself permission. It's like, you know what? I
Eh,
had an afternoon free. I was going to get all this work done. And I went, you know what? I think the best thing for me is to just go down.
yeah. And I love how you said you gave yourself permission. I don't know why people need to ask anybody else permission. You just look at yourself and say, I give myself permission. Probably you need to write a permission note, like in school.
Yes.
Here's mommy giving you a permission slip to go on the trip. Yeah, give yourself permission.
right? Right? Pull it
Yeah,
out, present it to yourself, and say, I give you permission to take it.
that's right, right,
And
right.
even if it's, I did 4.5 hours, but even if it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes is it can do so much good for you to
It
just
can.
stand down,
Yeah, yeah.
turn your brain off, think about roses for a while, not everything
Ditching the
else.
bitchin', Sue. Ditching
Yeah.
the bitching. What are people bitching about these days? Tell me. Let me see if I fall in that category. What are people bitching about? Tell me.
So they're bitching about time. We just talked about that, right? Because, oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough time. And so they get busy. They're bitching about money, big time. They're bitching about their relationships. They're bitching about and by relationships, I mean like job relations, people who they
Mhm.
interact with their colleagues, their spouse, their children, that sort of
Mm,
thing. And then there's their familial relationships, which is the ancestral relationships, I call them. So their parents, the grandparents, the great grandparents. There's all this stuff that
yeah.
they're going. Oh, I can't do this because
Yeah.
they don't do that in my family, or
Yeah.
people in
Yeah.
my family have always done this,
Yeah. And they're
right?
still doing it.
And they're still doing it, even though it's not their thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, whole books have been written about people who are trying to break out of their families' traditions, right? They're bitching about their jobs or their lack thereof, right? They're bitching about. Although I've
But
got to
there's
say,
something wrong about bitching about it. What is something wrong? Why can't we bitch about it?
well, there's a certain amount. Well, back up here.
Back it up. Back it up.
Bitching, complaining
Uh-huh.
is a very negative thing to do to your body. It
Hmm.
actually does bad things to your brain cells when you complain consistently.
It drains
And
you, Sue. It
it
drains you.
drains you. And if you don't take action, it
Mm,
causes toxic reactions it causes cortisol reactions in your body, which destroys your heart and your brain.
don't need
So
it.
don't need it.
Don't need
So
it.
when you're complaining and you're not doing something about it,
Hmm.
and doing something about it could be stating it rather than complaining about it. So you could say, well, my boss at work seems to have unrealistic expectations of me,
Hmm.
which is a different way of saying, oh my God, my boss just gives me too much to do.
Making it about you.
Right.
Just state the fact. Just state what it is. But
The,
but it feels good. So I'm gonna come in here as a devil's advocate. It feels good, and I get pity and I get attention. Okay. I get that when I walk around and everybody, well, at a point, they would listen to me,
right.
until they realize, oh my God, you're always complaining. You're so
Right.
negative. You're so toxic. And then they stop listening to you. And then I guess I might find something else that's appealing to bitch about.
Right. Unless you have a friend who is a giver or a helper,
Mm.
and so they always want to make you feel better, and so you've got this toxic relationship
You,
of somebody complaining and somebody wanting somebody to complain so that they can help,
you,
right?
that sounds nasty.
Nasty. It's horrible.
That sounds
because
nasty. Mm.
because the helper is unfortunately just reinforcing the complaining,
Feeding
so
it.
feeding it, so
Feeding it. So you never get out of the pleasing, the,
never
the
get out
other
of it.
person never get out of the complaining, and it just goes like this in a cycle. So
Right, right.
that's
So
why it's
you'll say, "Oh,
nasty.
my boss is always doing this, oh, my
Yeah.
boss is always doing that," and the pleaser
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, you poor thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, that's terrible. Oh, goodness." Instead of saying, "Okay, so have you gone to Insightful, Nextdoor, someplace else that you could look for a different job? Have you gone to counseling or did you
No,
learn some
and they
challenge?
continue the bitching.
You're going to
But
continue the bitch.
no, but here's what. Here's another storyline. Here's another slant to that, Sue. So I'm bitching, and you find, Corinne, what you're bitching about is nothing. I have something better than you. So it becomes a competition.
Escalator.
Of course,
Yes.
your things that you're bitching about is so worse,
Right.
and it's like it become so it becomes a competition. So I said this, and you're like, oh, that's nothing. And Sue comes in with her bitching stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this about me?
Right.
How will it become about you, Sue?
And then I got to make it worse. And so
How did
you
this
end
become
up,
about you, Sue? This is about me.
no, no, no,
So
no, no. It's
really,
about me. I had it much worse than you did. I just had it so bad.
and here what happened, Sue. Here what happened. I go to Sandra, right? After
Yeah.
you started, tell me about, and I'll be like, Sandra, can you believe it? I was sharing my bitching story to Sue. And Sue, instead of Sue help me or, listen to me, you know what she did? Sue started to talk about her situation, and if her situation is worse than mine. So on top of me bitching about mine, I carry it on. I spread it to Sandra.
Who now has a bad opinion about Sue.
Yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah. So
Right. Just spreading the negativity
yeah, I
all
forgot that
over
part. Thanks for reminding me about that, Sue. Yeah, right. Yeah.
it's all
So
about
now she
me.
has a bad a bad impression about Sue. And then I am now giving oxygen. So I'm feeding that. Plus, I am looking for sympathy in Sandra. So when I thought I could have gotten it with you, clearly I'm not coming back to you, Sue. I'm I'm going to Sandra.
Yes. Yes. And it just feeds this little cycle.
Cycle.
And it's horrible for your body.
Just talking about it, I feel sick.
Right?
Serious.
Okay, so let's talk about, I don't know, roses, baby goats.
Let's talk
Um,
about the positive. How we
yeah,
ditch the bitching.
yeah, ditch the
I
bitching.
want to spend the rest of the time to ditch.
So, of course, the first step is always awareness,
Mhm,
right? You got to
mhm.
notice when you're doing it. You have to notice when
Um,
you're doing it. And sometimes that's really hard if you've got
yeah.
a habit of
Mm,
complaining and you're not around people who will interrupt that particular complaint
mhm.
and go, okay, so Corinne, you've talked about this boss 3 times now, and nothing seems to have changed. What have you done?
What? What are you trying to do, Sue? You're blaming me? Is that,
I'm not blaming you. I'm
you're
saying
blaming me? It's not me, Sue. It's
right.
him. It's
Yes,
not me. I don't
absolutely.
appreciate you pointing the finger back at me, Sue.
I am not pointing the finger back at
Well,
you.
it
I
feels
am
that way.
suggesting a way that you can make him a better person.
What?
And you could be the hero in your office.
An extra step, Sue? I already have enough to do. I don't want to be. No.
Okay, then quit.
No. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay, that's an extra thing. And I have a lot of other things, you know, to focus on.
Right? And do you want to have Kim continue to do her behavior?
He just needs to stop.
Okay. Does she know that she's doing it?
I don't know. The point is, is what I feel. Whether he or she's aware of it, it don't matter. It's how I
Okay.
feel.
Have you told her how you feel?
No, because I might get fired.
Ah, okay. So has she fired anybody lately?
No, because they haven't told her about ourselves. We just talk amongst ourselves. Me, Sandra, Sue, we just talk.
So Has Kim exhibited any psychic abilities, any mind reading abilities?
I don't think so. I don't know why.
So, what if she's doing something where she doesn't realize what the impact is on you guys?
She must know nobody likes her. Nobody likes her.
And what would it be like if nobody liked you and nobody told you?
Well, I'm different. I don't care if anybody likes me. I'm just here to do my
Ah,
job. I'm
uh-huh.
just here to do my job and get out at the end of the day. I have
I
my
see.
real friends, okay? Like Sue and Sandra.
Who listen to you bitching.
That's right. That's right. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and this is perfect timing. I've got a garbage truck right outside my door right now. What if we
That's where
just
you ditch the bitchin'.
there
That's
we
where
go,
you ditch it
bitchin'.
in the garbage.
We'll just put it in there and take
That's
it away.
right. But here's what I'm thinking now, Sue. You said awareness, and that is very
Yeah.
critical. And people need to be aware. And that requires, like what you were trying to do with me a while ago, take responsibility.
Yes.
And there are lots of persons, just like how I just demonstrated, who will not take responsibility because
Yes.
it's not them. It's
Yes.
always the other person. But
Yes.
I believe, because I'm a person like that, I believe that it takes two to tango.
Yes.
We are both involved in this dynamic. So, what am I contributing to it being this way? Because I cannot control the other person. I cannot make them change. I
Right.
can only change myself. And probably with me making a change within me, it may change the dynamics.
Yes. And
It
it may
may
not.
change the dynamic. It may not, but it may. It just may. So I just have to
Wonderful.
test that out to
Yes.
see if by me doing something slightly different, just like cooking, I'm thinking you put a little different flavor, that you never tried before. You'll be like, I never tried this before. It turned out good, or it probably turned out bad. But at least you know.
Yes. Yes. And what if Kim is completely clueless
Well, she gotta be
because
clueless.
this is the way she was trained to do things?
Yeah,
What if she was taught
yeah.
to
And
treat
that's
other people the way she does?
and
And
that's the
that's the
thing.
only way she knows how to do it.
And that's the thing. But you are asking now for people to see, it comes back to awareness, people to see through a different pair of eyes,
Right.
use a different set of thinking, processing. It comes back to awareness for you to say to yourself, I'm looking at this person. She looks like my boss, talks like my boss, whatever. But there is something beyond that
Yes.
that I need to see, that I need to realize. She may be having issues at home. She probably may not have any friends, true
Exactly.
friends. She probably have never had anybody to be honest with her or say, you're doing a good job, just to recognize her. And there's so many
Right.
things.
Right. Right. And like I said, there's a lot of people, sadly, who were trained to be managers in the worst possible way, which is
Yeah,
and
it's sad.
I actually had a manager who told me that when you manage people, you need to keep them in the dark, only feed them as much as they need to do their jobs, and don't give them any opportunity.
Need to know basis. What a way to manage. Whoa.
So, okay, toxic environment, I'm getting out of there.
Wow.
Yeah,
But let's switch over to familial relationships where you probably
yes.
can't avoid, the whole dynamics,
Right.
even somebody you may be dating. It all comes back to the whole awareness and the thing for me is that energy that I put out,
Mhm.
is it worth it? Am I gaining anything? Well, I am gaining stress. I am gaining
Well,
age. I am gaining extra gray hairs. I am gaining hypertension. I am gaining all of that.
right.
Lack of sleep, annoyance, bitey, I'm getting that. And is that something worth gaining? Is that a good gain? Is that a positive gain?
Can I tell you a short story?
Of course.
So when I met my
Hmm.
now ex-husband, giving away the ending here,
My now ex-husband. I
my
love
now
that.
ex-husband,
Hmm.
um, we've been divorced for many decades now. So um, I thought that he was incredibly brilliant and clever and
Oh.
interesting, and
Well,
he
that's
was,
why
you
he
know,
became your husband.
that's why he became my husband because he had a sense of humor. He was really interested in how the mind worked, and he was taking psych
Mm.
classes, and he wanted to be what do they call it? A profiler.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be a profiler and take psych classes in order to become a policeman profiler.
Okay. 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 Mm-hmm.
And so he was really interested in that, and he got frustrated about midway through because psychology didn't have any if this then that.
Mm-hmm.
There
Mm-hmm.
was no, this equals that. It was okay, well maybe, and sometimes, and kind of, and it freaked him out, and so he ended up going into engineering. And when we started living together, and I brought my library with me, I have a few books,
Just a few.
just a
Mm-hmm.
few. Um, he was very impatient with me reading. It was like, well, you're out of college now. You don't need to read anymore. And I had grown up reading. I'd grown up with books. I love books. And
I
he
did
was
not know there was a timeline to stop reading, but okay
right,
then. Mm-hmm.
right. And so he was very resentful of me going to the bookstore and getting books and reading books and going to the library and getting books and talking
let
to
me
some
let me
friends about
interrupt
books.
that there. It means to say you'll be smarter. You will be more knowledgeable than he is.
Well, let's just say I had a bigger breadth of experience than he did. And and at some point I said, could we have a cat or a dog? And he was like, what, you mean you want something else to take care of? Why would you want to do that? And I thought, okay, we just stopped the idea of having children because
I was thinking that. I was like,
right.
okay, where does children come in there?
Yeah, and then there was a friend who a
But
couple,
that's a great question, you know.
right.
Sue, that is a wonderful, hey, wow. That is a wonderful question when you're dating. Anybody watching this, take that away from this episode. If you want to broach or breach, whatever the word is, the topic of children, and you don't want to say children, ask if you can, how do you feel about sharing or having a cat or dog? And if they're like, hell no, who's taking care of it? And they go, you'll be like, wow, okay, then I see that.
Right. Um, we had a talk with somebody who had assisted his wife in the birthing chamber, and they were all enthusiastic about it. And my husband went, "Oh my God, what was he doing helping her with it? This is women. Women have had birth without guys for centuries. Why do we need to do that?" And I thought, "Okay, we're done. We're done. That's it. If I'm not getting support
So,
before, during, or after, we're
so this
done."
is for another episode because the garbage truck's still there. The garbage truck.
It's gone now. We can remotely toss. Be a 3-pointer.
That what you're saying does it cannot even fit in the garbage truck.
Yeah.
No, Sue. No, Sue. Thank God you're no longer in that. You know what gets to me? The things we find ourselves in because of a lack of awareness. And I'm not bitching here. We all find ourselves in it. And it is when we go through it, because if we don't, we wouldn't learn. We would just float through life, and just do things, and people do us anything. But here's the point, coming back to the ditching, the bitching. When you mention about interrupting the person who is bitching, and you try to get them to center, to ground, to realize their part in the process, because it's a whole ecosystem,
Mhm.
and you try to get them to take responsibility, accountability for it, it's hard for them to see that.
Yes.
It's hard for them to see that.
If it hasn't been part of their training or their upbringing, if
Yeah,
if their whole life has been about it's always somebody else's fault,
yeah, it's
then
hard.
it's really hard to to take
But it
responsibility.
says a lot. It says a lot in terms of relationships,
Yes.
and for you to let things go, which is what ditching is. Just let
Yes.
it go, be able to say, do I need this in my life? Do I want this? Is it adding value to me? No. What is my part and all? It's a lot of questions, and the sort of work, work you need to do with yourself.
Yes.
I do a lot of examination of conscience,
Hmm.
examination of self, introspection, whatever people want to call it. I spend my time, not a lot because I tend to overanalyze, but things will through me, and I'll be like, I could have said this differently, or I could have done this differently, or I'm proud of myself here. I don't beat up on myself. I just learn from everything.
Right.
And there are lots of things that I don't need to respond to. And a lot of people don't realize that silence is one of the best forms of response.
Yes.
Just you know, and taking the time to walk away, to process and realize, do I need to say something? Do I need to be involved? Let's wrap up this too with you sharing, let's say, 3 tips. I want you to give away 3 things. You mentioned awareness as one,
Yes.
but give us 2 more before we go, because I want to show your website before we go.
Yes.
While you're doing that, I'm going to show the website while you're sharing the other 2 tips.
Okay. Perfect. So the awareness also has to do with what can I do differently? What can I do to change the situation? So it's kind of taking responsibility, but it's also about taking on what can I do? What action can I do
Mhm.
to make it different? And
Yeah.
at that point, it kind of branches off because if there is no action possible, the only action, therefore, is to walk away. And the other one is to do the action because
Hmm.
that's what happens is
Yeah.
people go, oh, okay, next time I need to do X,
Hmm.
and then they don't.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes time. It takes time,
It takes
Sue, to
time.
come to that place.
Yes.
To come to
But
that place. But it all boils down to taking responsibility for yourself.
yes. And
Stop
take
pointing that
action.
finger. Yeah. 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 I have your website up. Is there anything you would like me to feature on your website?
No, that my lovely little video there about biofield tuning, which is
Yes.
one of the ways that I clear the stuff that's in your way that you are not even consciously aware of.
Oh, damn.
Because there's things that are getting in your way that
Mm-hmm.
you don't know about,
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
that you're just stopping yourself and you don't know why. And I can help you with that.
Wow. So you encourage persons to watch this video. Of course, you can watch it on YouTube here as well. Watch the video, and of course, contact Sue. There's a little contact me page here.
Yes.
Let's have a look at that.
Let's see if it comes up. Come on up.
Yes, it's taking a while. You clearly
Oh
have a lot
boy.
of stuff on your website. So here,
Yes. Yes.
right. Beautiful. But I'm not seeing a box where they can enter.
Oh,
Oh, here
here we
it
go.
is. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. So they put in their email, name, and so on, and they can send the message off to you.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Right? So they have their ways of reaching you. Let's get back to,
all
and
the
it's to
things.
get your mojo back. We have
Yes,
a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of things that are programmed into us. It's like in muscle memory,
yes,
soon, and
yes.
it's
Well, it's even more
painful.
than that. That's our next episode, but it's even more than muscle memory.
Yeah,
It's in our what's called the biofield that
yeah,
is
yeah,
writing to our muscles
yeah. It's deep.
and
And I
cells.
will tell people from personal experience, and I'm still going through it, it's painful like hell. I'm telling you, painful.
Get rid of
But
it.
it's painful. I'm not going to lie. When you have to deal with all these sort of traumas that's I mean, it's
Yes,
God, and you recognize it and you're on a path to freedom. That's really what it is, a path to freedom, Sue.
yes,
People talk about financial freedom and all this other different. But let me tell you, starting with you,
yes,
starting with you, God.
yes. You can't achieve financial freedom if you've got pre-programmed blocks in your biofield that are literally stopping you from seeing opportunities. You
Oh,
can't have
Jesus.
you can't have relationship freedom if you literally have filters that
Yeah,
only allow you to find people who are going to abuse you, ignore you, treat you badly.
yeah,
You can't get ahead in life if you don't clear those things out of
yeah,
your life.
yeah, yeah. Even the way I interact with my children, my son, my youngest in particular, he's 18, and I've realized that, he's physically away from me, a distance in another country, and I'm like, it's painful as a mother, to not
Yes.
be with your son. You don't know when you will see him, kind of thing, and the pain and the hurt of that. I had to come to terms with that, with true prayer. I tell you, I
Yeah.
can't do it on my own. I can't. I tell everybody, anybody who listens to this, don't get the impression I'm doing this on my own. True God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, or him, her, true God. And it is only when I go straight to my God, he says to me, this is how I, because if I keep in that vicious cycle, like the ditching, like the bitchin, I am going to keep going like this. And I don't want to be going like that. I don't want this thing to take me over in this pain and hurt cycle. So I have to find a way out.
Yes.
Or else I am giving power and control, Sue, to that and take over my life.
Yes.
I'm not allowing it at all. So I have to find a way of escape. Some people might consider it, I'm lying to myself. I don't care. If that is what I have to do, and I don't consider it lying to myself, it is facing the facts and finding a mechanism of coping that allows me to exist every day as opposed to going to depression and into serious mental health
And drugs or alcohol or
or
other
suicide. Let's call
other
it what it is.
paths
Or suicide. Let's call it what
or
it is.
suicide. Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we need
Let's
to
not
stop
do that.
pretending. Hmm?
Let's not do that.
Right? But let's not pretend. Let's face
Yeah.
what it is. Get the help we need. Okay? Talk to somebody. I mean, yeah, you might be venting, you talk, but you have to, at some point, wake up, like Sue is saying. Awareness, taking responsibility, and following through on that action. Don't just say it, take
Mhm.
action.
Do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been great having you. Listen, we always have fun on this show.
Yes.
We get passionate about this thing. You know how it goes. I
Yeah.
look forward for you to come back. I know you're always around. You're always doing something with your busy self. So whenever you're ready, you know how to find me. You know how to book. I don't even have to send you the link. I noticed. I'm like,
I
Sue
figured
has
it out.
everything. Yes. You
Yes,
just
I'd
do.
love to.
Oh, yes. It's great to have you. And I hope and pray that somebody listening to this, or whoever is listening to this at whatever time, is the right time that it reach you to do something about it. We are here to help you in whatever way or point you in the right direction. Sue, any final words before we go?
Take action. No kidding. Take action. Don't. Don't settle for normal and ordinary. Go have an epic life. Go have an
Epic,
extraordinary life.
epic. You hear that? I'm
Yeah.
going to have an epic life right now. So it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for the work that you do.
Oh, thank you, Corinne, for letting me play on your program again.
Of course, anytime.